So let's stop this analogy of saying, oh, if I put my expectations low, then I will not be disappointed. What you're bringing to yourself is literally anything that you cannot condone. Hello, hi once again. This is Susan, Strategic Lenses podcast. We're very happy to come into your space. I really hope that the lessons we are learning or the lessons that I'm sharing about my personal journey are making an impact into your lives. Last time we spoke about purpose and personality tests. I really hope that you have engaged us to come and know what your personality type is. It is very, very important. So yes, another day, another episode. Today I am very excited about this one because I have learned, relearned, and unlearned so many things about this topic. The topic is expectations. Wow, expectations. So many things have been said about expectations. So many things I have believed about expectations that are not true. So many things that I have had myths and I have had people's experiences, but not everything works for us. So I'm really sharing what has worked for me regarding this topic on expectations. I really hope I add value. And I really hope you're okay. It's important for me to check, and I do it from my heart, that if you're not okay, talk to someone. If you're okay, good, keep it up. Are you finding your own happiness? Is your happiness personal? All those things that I've shared with you, they're really key lessons that I've learned in life. So I hope they add value to you. Now, on to our topic for today, expectations. Let me really start from the cliche. What is the definition? Because so many people have said so many things about expectations. Now, from the dictionary, of course, it's defined as your strong hopes or beliefs that something will happen or that you will get something that you want. It has not happened, but you have the hope and you have the belief that something is going to happen, something that you're going to get, something that you want is going to happen. It has not happened, but you expect that it's going to happen. Most likely, it will happen, and expectations are centered in the future. It's good for us to understand that expectations are centered in the future. It may or may not be realistic, and most of the time, if it doesn't happen, this is one common characteristic of all expectations, is that if it doesn't happen, it leads to an emotion of disappointment. Trust me, if you expected something to happen and it did not happen, the only thing you're left with is disappointment. Now, expectations again. This is what has worked for me on expectations. One thing we need to understand is all of us have expectations. A few facts we need to understand that. Number one, all of us have expectations. Number two, all expectations could be, or some expectations could be, unreasonable, unstated, and unconscious. Yeah? Going back to the first point, expectations encompasses all areas of our lives. It may be in work, it may be at work, it may be relationships, it may be, general in life, even with our spouses and our children. Everything about our lives is about expectation, and we all have them. The second point that I made is they could be unreasonable, they could be unstated, they could be unconscious. This means that expectations sometimes can only exist in our mind, and unfortunately, most of us, that's where they exist, in our mind. And the opposite is true, and that is the third point, that the expectations could also be reasonable, could also be stated, and could also be conscious. You could be alive of an expectation. You could have stated an expectation. You could have an expectation that is quite reasonable. So I want you to keep those three minds in at the back of your head as we talk about expectations. Now, there's an example that someone gave. I was listening to on YouTube, and they said, imagine two sets of people one person has gone to the gym or has gone to run or is doing some sort of exercise. And then imagine someone else, like a cleaner in a hotel or in a restaurant, or someone who works at the farm, for example. Now, in your mind, out of these two people, who do you think is exercising? Think about it for a bit. Who do you think is exercising? Just the two scenarios I've created. The person who is actually going to the gym to actually exercise, or this other person who is, working as a cleaner, just, cleaning normally, or in a farm, just going about their duties every day. When you think about it, most people would answer that the person who is actually going to work out in the gym is the one who is actually working out, because the one who is exercising is looking like he's sweating, is looking like they are aware that they're actually going to exercise. But yet this person who is cleaning, do you realize that they are also exercising? They're also doing part of physical work. They may not look like they're sweating. They may not look like they're doing hard work, but by the end of the day, they're actually exercising. Now, the difference between these two people is, if you met these two people and you challenge them, you tell them that you're both doing these sets of work, and I need you to lose X amount of weight by, let's say, the end of the month. As much as the exercise, the workload that the person who is, moving around and doing the house chores and doing the cleaning or doing the farm work, as much as they may be doing so much more work than the person who is going to the gym, just because of the person who is going to the gym is more aware that they are exercising, they would actually record that they've lost more weight than this other person who is doing the normal day-to-day work. Now, on the flip side, if you tell this person who is cleaning, this person who is washing, this person who is doing X number of duties, that do you know that whatever you're actually doing is actually exercise? If you make them more aware like that, imagine tomorrow or the next day when they go to do that kind of work, they will be alive to the fact that they're actually exercising, and hence put more, let me not even say effort, they'll do it in the same way, but scale it up just a little bit, knowing that it's actually part of exercise. It's not just work. I could actually be doing what I love or through cleaning, but also receive the positive reward of losing weight, for example. Now, these two are examples of two different sets of expectations. The first one going to exercise knows that they expect to lose weight by the end of X, which is, let's say, the month. And this other person, they are also exercising, but just the mere fact that they don't take it as exercise, they don't expect to lose, yet they could lose. So if you make them aware of it, that's why I say that expectations could be reasonable, they could be stated, they could be conscious. The fact that you can state it to them means that they will actually do it more consciously and achieve whatever it is that they've been told they can achieve. Yeah. Now, having had these two different types of expectations, why then do we get desperately disappointed when our expectations are not met? Why is it that most people today in their relationships are saying, me, I'm just living with no expectations. When he does it or when she does it, then I will be surprised, and then I will not be. And we are many on this. It makes me laugh because we are many on this school of thoughts. Just put your expectations low. That is what we are always told. Just put your expectations low, because when that expectation then is not met, you will not be disappointed. Okay? But when it is met, then it becomes a surprise, and then you're overly surprised, and you're overly overwhelmed, and you're happy. But is it really the case? Let me tell you what I think about it, honestly. When you go to work, and you are a director, or an MD, or a CEO, and you have a team, when you hire someone, you tell them you are expected to do 1, 2, 3, 4. This is your job description. What is that? It's really an expectation. It's in the future. Yeah. You have been told that these are the tasks that you ought to perform, and failure to perform, there is a consequence to it. Now, when I have a team of workers, for example, I have to reach a point where I'm not able to do everything that they do. I will train, yeah. The first few months will be hard in terms of training, but it will reach a point that I will tell you I have trained, and at this point I expect you to be able to deliver this much in such a way that I really hope you will get my point. You almost leave it to them to do it the way they are supposed to do it, and not haggle around and control, because then I will not do the work that I am expected to do by my superior. For example, when you're in a family setup, for example, siblings, yeah, we all have expectations that we have put on one another, or even in a marriage setup, for example. There are roles that the man is supposed to play. There are roles that the woman is supposed to play. There are roles that the children are supposed to play. When you tell your child, for example, I expect you to make your bed, take a shower, brush your teeth, put on your clothes, because you have taught and you believe that it will reach a certain point that they'll be able to do it by themselves. When they're not able to do it, then that feeling of disappointment comes. But because you have brought the conscious realistic, you have taught, you have put it in the clearest form, then expectations are justified. I expect you as my colleague to do 1, 2, 3. I will lean in on you as you lean in on me to do 1, 2, 3, and then we are all happy by the end of the day because everyone did their work. But when it reaches a point when our expectations are drastically we suffer a lot of disappointment, this is what I've discovered that happens. What happens is we put an unrealistic expectation in our minds first, and most of the time we have not communicated that expectation to the next person or what we want them to rise up to the occasion for. And this brings me to these people who say, me, I'll just have a low expectation. Me, I will not have any expectation. The danger with that is it brings your bar so low. What, in essence, what you're saying is you can treat me in whatever way you want to, as long as I don't get disappointed. Disappointment is really, really part of life. Now, I would like to discourage us, and I was there, trust me, I was there, this group of us who keep on saying, just keep your expectations so low. What you're doing is, you're bringing your bar so low, you're settling for so much less. You're settling for almost anything that is brought to your plate, but are you anything? No, you're not. You're much better than that. So, let's stop this analogy of saying, oh, if I put my expectations low, then I will not be disappointed. What you're bringing to yourself is literally anything that you cannot condone. Sometimes you want to help people, not to help people, but you want to put yourself in a certain level of how you want people to treat you. Yeah, people will only treat you to the extent to which you allow. Yeah, remember that. If you allow them to treat you with very low standards, that is what they're going to treat you with. If you're going to put your expectations so high, people will try to treat you in the manner in which you've placed yourself in. So you need to really strike a balance that as much as I don't want to be disappointed, have I made my expectations so clear so that even if it is disappointed, then, I am justified. I am justified that I helped you understand the kind of level that I want you to treat this thing at. I'll give it an example with a transactional service or product. Let's say with this online and e-commerce thing, you saw something online and you liked it, or you liked a service, and you ask the person, I would like this to be done in 1, 2, 3 ways, in exactly the same way you did for this other person. Okay, we've agreed. How much does it cost? Let's say 1,000 bob. Fine, I'll pay 1,000 bob. You will pay the 1,000 bob with the knowledge, or even the person who is transacting that business with you, they will have the knowledge of knowing that this is the level of expectation that the client expects this service to be delivered. Short of this, then there's a problem. And trust me, in order to keep that relationship, most of the time, most people will try to reach that sort of expectation that you have created for them. I really hope we are trying to get the balance that yes, we will disappointment will come, but disappointments are most likely to come when we do not make our expectations clear. But another point that I would like to make here on the reason why we are thoroughly disappointed sometimes with expectations is number one, we imagined how it's supposed to be done. Let me take a bit, a short time to just explain this. Have you ever gone to the fundi and umemwendea na design ukamwambia, this is the design that I want, v-neck, flare dress and all that. You have a design in mind. Then the fundi, for some reason, akatoa design enye was not what you had in your mind. Yeah? But just because your expectation had already existed in your mind on what you wanted, you feel so disappointed. Yet sometimes the end product, in fact most of the time, the end product is not bad. It just did not meet your expectation. If you had gone to someone, if you go to someone else and ask them, what do you think about this dress? They'll tell you, it's okay, it looks beautiful, the design is amazing. You're like, really? You think it's amazing? Yes, it is. But you're feeling so disappointed because you had imagined how that thing is going to be, or how that party is going to be, or how that proposal is going to be. Maybe it's, you imagine and put yourself in such a world that, oh my God, if it will not happen like this, then and maybe it happened in a different way and it was just still okay. Number two is what you've read or what you've heard. You've heard of so many things, you've read of so many things. So you expect the way you relate with people to be exactly the way you read, exactly the way you've heard, exactly the way someone else told you the experiences. Our experiences are different. And number three, when we compare ourselves with other people, when you compare so much yourself with other people, then your expectations are on a certain level that if they are not met, make you so disappointed. And yet, that may not be the case. Your experience may just be as beautiful, but it doesn't have to look the same as someone else's expectation. And when you expect other people to measure up, when you have a certain expectation about people that is just not realistic, and maybe their space in life is not just there. You see, so this for me, those are some of the things that make us so disappointed when we have expectations that are beyond us. And again, the solution for me for this is live in your moment, stay in your moment, enjoy the things that make you happy, enjoy the things in your space that brings you joy and fulfillment, and not necessarily something that brought joy and fulfillment to someone else, which you expect to be for you, yet it's not. Yeah. So let's try to draw a balance between what you expect in terms of communicating, being cautious, being realistic, saying what you expect from someone else. Because when you offer basic things or basic principles in life, like good communication, or listening to someone else, or treating people right, yeah, the least you can expect is to be treated back the same way. It is actually justified. So let's not live in that bubble of, oh, me, I'll have my low expectations. Imagine you'll be treated so badly because you're expecting anything to come your way. Have some sort of decorum, have some sort of dignity to put yourself in a, at a level of, where you like yourself to be treated, so that sort of expectation people can measure, people can live up to it. So it's a mix here and there, but I really hope the lessons on expectations that I have learned will bring a lot more value to your life. And let me know, what is it that you had on as your theory on expectation, and give me feedback. Let me know what you think about our episode today. Otherwise, thank you so much for listening. Until next time, goodbye.